Press.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us. As Melisande noted, this panel takes a blog post by way of the Scholarly Kitchen as its point of departure. So, Dr. Dorothy Bishop, professor of developmental neuropsychology at Oxford, wrote the post, "How to Bury Your Academic Writing," which probably gives more than a few of us in this room a bit of a chill. But in it, she compared her journal article and an edited collection using R and Google Scholar, and concluded that there are three things that determine if a paper gets noticed. So it needs to be tagged, so it will be found on a computer search, needs to be accessible and not locked behind a paywall, and it needs to be well-written and interesting. So we'll leave the well-written and interesting piece off to the side. I think that's timeless, and there's no arguments about that. But I'd like to spend a few minutes looking at how we as an industry have responded to the other points. So the question then is, has the plight of the academic book actually improved since 2012? And I'm arguing that yes, absolutely, it has. And I think it's improved for four main reasons. One, the rise of the publisher platform has improved the outlook for books. Two, there's growing sophistication in services promoting discovery. Three, both publishers and third parties are helping academics to share their work and drive impact. And four, silos have started coming down between books and journals. So since 2012, a huge amount of investment and development have gone into the publisher platform, either through the publisher itself or through a platform provider. So Highwire Press and Silverchair are two of the biggest platform providers. But publishers like Cambridge University Press, Sage, Wolters Kluwer, Elsevier, Springer Nature, Wiley, and Bergon, as Vivian just discussed, are all publishers with their own platforms. So there's a lot of reasons that platforms help books, but just to highlight a few of the kind of top reasons. Better search across all relevant content types. So as Catherine noted, to be able to jump from articles to books or book chapters and to be able to see everything within an area of research. Combined book and journal platform package models have provided value for librarians. So it's not really just about the value, but it's also having that content together and not having it be a zero-sum game. I mean, I think there's a lot of work to do on that side as well, but there's opportunity there. And then as far as the business models go, the rise of evidence-based acquisition opens up discovery of all content types without a paywall. Once again, that has a limit, but that has opened up some doors since 2012. So at the time the blog post was written, Cambridge had two separate digital platforms. Cambridge Journals Online was developed in 1997, and Cambridge Books Online was developed in 2010. So those platforms were ahead of their time when they launched, but a few years ago it became clear that they were really in need of replacement. So Cambridge Core launched in September 2016, and that brought all of the content together onto one platform. So just to share a few selected features that help academic books there are article and book metrics, a new citation management tool, EasyBib, and ebook hot topics, which is another way, responding to Catherine, of a way to bring together ebooks in content. So, in collections. So we have the kind of traditional, straightforward subject collections, but then there are collections around either emerging disciplines or topics that are really of importance, like climate change or sustainability, or topics that are timely in some other way, whether it be some sort of a current event, whatever it may be, but it's a way for us to bring together our content and slice and dice it a bit differently.
Good.
Thank you. So I found it really helpful to hear Catherine's perspective, because I think publishers can get really focused on viewing pain points from our own perspective. And this reference, hopefully here, I won't read the quote out loud, but this reference illustrates how Cambridge Core helped us to both think and work differently. Thank you. So this is what a customer testing model looks like. And Cambridge Core, it's really an infinity loop. So it does not stop the customer testing. We consulted extensively with almost 10,000 users while developing Core to make sure we're providing a platform that meets the needs of our researchers and our customers. And we work with agile methodologies to quickly test ideas and concepts and put them live, monitor usage, and then be able to refine and improve from there. So we're deploying new features every 2 weeks. Site updates on a very regular basis, and there's development on the very near horizon, including multilingual site navigation, alt metrics for books, enhanced HTML functionality, and annotation inline. And I'm happy to say since it launched, it's been shortlisted for 3 User Experience and Innovation Awards, including the Future Book Platform of the Year, the UX UK, which is not just for publishers, which we were very proud of, and International Excellence Awards Quantum Innovation.
That's cool.
So going back to my response to Dr. Bishop, another reason that I think the outlook for academic books has improved is because of the growth in tools and services of discovery of content in the digital space. I have a few examples listed here, but just to pull out a couple points. I mean, the kind of overall picture is the fact that researchers they have a lot more tools at their disposal now to customize searches, either between alerts or the options on publishers' platforms, and through librarian or kind of more industry-wide platforms that I have there on the right. There's still a lot more work to do, as Catherine noticed, and as I think we've all discussed, but I think publishers have acknowledged that and are working on it. The tricky thing, I think, is that in terms of the way researchers search and the way content needs to be related, there is a bit of a difference between the HSS and the STM space. So there's a real challenge there for publishers that work across all types of content. You can see I have here that STM content is facilitated more easily by machine reading and by that type of technology, where in HSS there's a little bit more kind of manual curation involved to bring the concepts together, so that one size fits all just isn't quite as possible as publishers would hope it would be. So since 2012 as well, another sea change has been the way the industry engages with impact, in part due to the requirements of the 2014 REF in the UK. Academic publishers have responded to the need to demonstrate and drive impact. So there's been a huge amount of work in this space. This is really just a cross-section. And to pull out a couple points, once again, I think it's important to flag that green OA policies have been extended to books. So many publishers allow at least one chapter of their books to go into a preprint server or repository, and Cambridge allows social sharing and green OA for our books 6 months after publication, and for edited collections, each contributor is able to post their chapter in a repository of some sort. So while that doesn't break down the paywall fully, it once again provides an entry point into ebooks, both as books and as chapters. I think it's also important to highlight that the abstracting and indexing services have turned their attention to books. So Scopus's site, for example, quotes that over 60% of their indexed books fall into arts and humanities or social sciences categories, and this really does help achieve the objective to better support the book-based nature of these disciplines. But I think that I'm excited about the opportunities coming out of this space. I think that will absolutely help improve the prospect of the book in the future. And finally, while there are still a lot of differences between books and journals publishing, some of the silos are coming down in ways that really benefit books specifically. So everything from hybrid business models to new open access initiatives are bringing insights from journals publishing to book publishing. And I wanted to spend a minute talking about how Cambridge is bringing down some of the silos between books and journals. So we are launching later this year Cambridge Elements, and Cambridge Elements aims to combine the best of books and journals. And they are digital first and frequently updated mid-form works of scholarly content, so roughly the length in between book and journal article. And they are flexible in that they range from an authoritative reference library of materials to high-level tutorials on emerging fields and to detailed descriptions of new technologies. So what's different here as well is that our editorial teams have taken subject areas and really mapped them out and then acquired content. So when we launch, we will really have critical mass in the areas that we're committing to. So hopefully that speaks to Catherine's point as well. So while it won't be you going to the library shelf, it will be a virtual form of that to a certain degree. I mean, it's not It's not literally modeled after the library shelf, but I think it speaks to that need in certain ways.
that feeling.
And it will also capitalize on the reading experience of Cambridge Core that I touched on. And our hope is that it will be a community building tool to help iterate the product. So we'll keep that kind of agile mindset while we develop elements further. So in conclusion, I'll just say, I think we really have made a tremendous amount of progress since 2012. But I think that being said, many of us in this room still have real challenges with the business model for academic books. And so I'll just end by a call to arms here to suggest that we all collaborate moving forward to find more sustainable paths for academic books. Thank you.